I'm literally gonna go over the entire movie with you. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to see it, good. Watch this video because I'm literally gonna explain the entire movie to you. Hello, I'm Gehenna. I love all things Resident Evil and Silent Hill, but I also really love all kinds of spooky games. I will always be a Resident Girl at heart, but with Silent Hill's latest return to modern gaming, I've been able to appreciate Silent Hill a lot more. In this vlog, I take you on an adventure with me to the highly hated new Silent Hill movie, Return to Silent Hill, and in the end of this video, I share my thoughts as a modern Silent Hill fan who has only ever played the remakes in Silent Hill F. I share my thoughts on what I thought about this movie, because believe me, I have a lot of things to say. Just because I'm a new gamer doesn't mean I don't understand Silent Hill's entire lore. Well, quick, I do want to say at the end of this video, there will be spoilers on the movie, so if you have not seen the movie and you plan on seeing it, maybe skipping the end of this video would be best for you. Anyway, I'm just getting ready for the movie. I'm seeing the 3:20 showing, so I think this is like 1 p.m. I'm just washing my face, doing my skincare because I don't have any makeup remover on me right now, so today was just a straight up skincare day. No makeup. I've been using this Milk perfume that I got in an advent calendar, and it actually smells pretty good on the skin. At first I thought I didn't like it, but as I started spraying it on and wore it more often, I really like it, and I'm just putting all my things in my purse. As far as candy goes, I always bring my own candy, especially right now because I have just so much on hand. So I have these Swedish candies, and then I got these like caramel gooey Kit Kats from World Market, and my Tony's chocolate, which I've lately been enjoying. And check out this awesome shirt I got. It's a Dr. Pepper Rescue shirt. I love it so much. I know I'm seeing a Silent Hill movie, but that doesn't mean I can't wear it. And then, of course, over top, I'm wearing my new Silent Hill hoodie that I got from Hot Topic. This thing was expensive, but I wear it pretty much every day. And then I just have that's my biggest purse that I own, so I usually wear that to theaters because I can hide all my snacks in there. And that's my outfit. And we're ready to go. At this point, I heard that the movie was a adaptation of the game, so I'm just expecting this movie to follow the storyline of Silent Hill as much as possible, of the second game, as much as they can in 2 hours, which I was a little impressed by that 2-hour-long movie. I assumed this movie was very indie, so I didn't think it was going to run that long, but it did. I'm honestly not expecting much in this film. I usually don't when it comes to video game adaptations, just because they're either really good or really bad. There's never an in-between. So I'm watching this movie on Sunday, so I've already seen kind of what people have been talking about on social media, especially on TikTok. I have been avoiding spoilers. I have been seeing a lot of people say that the movie's really bad, and I don't know why at this point. I haven't been digging too deep into it. I just heard that it's bad, so I'm not really expecting very much. I was honestly just hoping people were being dramatic, because people hate to see anything new come out. People hate everything now. So I just thought people were being dramatic. But with video games getting movies and shows lately, let me know which one you think is actually worth the time and what one you've been enjoying so far. I got ready a bit earlier than I needed to, so I ended up just playing some Rivals, and I only had time for one game, which I won. I'm trying to climb back into Diamond. I'm in Gold 2 right now. But before we go to the theaters, we actually wanted to eat, because there was nothing worse than eating popcorn and candy on an empty stomach. So we went to this cute crepe place, but it's good. I got this veggie, savory crepe because I wasn't in the mood for something sweet. And my partner actually got a apple crepe, and his was better than mine. I didn't really like mine, but we made it to the theater. And I actually found out that they're going to be playing Iron Lung at this theater, which was pretty cool. I'm definitely going to be heading back to go watch Iron Lung. And when I was there, I got my little postcard. Even though I didn't pre-order my tickets, I still got the postcard. This is what a small icy looks like.
How can you sit there and eat pizza?
And the movie starts. And this is me leaving the theater. I have a lot of things to say once I left the theater. Hi. I would like to start off by saying I am coming down from a sickness. I think I have some kind of cold or flu, whatever's been going around, so I apologize for my terrible voice. I had to give it a day, guys, after I saw that movie. I had to sleep on it. I have an entire list of things that I want to talk about. Let's just get into the things that I did like, because there's a lot less things that I actually did like than things that I did not like. Let me start off by saying that this movie did kind of follow the game's pacing very well. I did like at the beginning of the movie, they're all going to be spoilers in this, by the way. Either take that as me saving you money from going to go see this terrible movie. Also, it's just Silent Hill, and everyone kind of knows the story of Silent Hill 2. So if you don't know the story of Silent Hill 2 by now, get out of here. But I did like that this movie follows the pacing of the game. So that is a little bit of something that I did like. What else did I like? The shots in this movie, like the videography and everything, beautiful. This movie, it was very pretty. They did give the game's vibes like perfectly. CGI wasn't even that bad, and I expected it to be really bad because I expected this film to be something really cheap. The imagery of this movie is great. We can get into some of the monsters real quick too. I actually liked pretty much all of the monsters except, if you've seen the movie, you probably already know which one I'm not gonna like. I did not like the redesign of the mannequins, guys. Because of the mannequin redesign, it also later ruins an entire scene, and we'll get into that too in a second. Everything that I have good to say about this movie literally just has to do with the visuals. Pretty much everything else is just, I have a lot to say that is not so good, so we'll run down the good visuals. Otherworld looks great too. In my opinion, I feel like they kind of threw you into the other world way too fast, but you can't be too mad about pacing when it comes to movies like this because they only have so much time. There were actually some really cute and cool Easter eggs that I felt like I saw, or that I personally connected, that maybe weren't actually legit, but like I saw it as an Easter egg. One of them being the windows, and when he enters, I think it's the apartment complex. When he enters there, the windows actually look exactly like the original saving screen with the blocks and everything, the red blocks. So that was really cool to see. I actually did really like seeing that. There's also a little scene that reminded me a lot about Silent Hill 3. Cheryl, you know, she's in that room and all those vines come up to her and like starts to like get really close to her. There was a scene like that in the movie, and it just kind of reminded me of Silent Hill 3. Pyramid Head looks good, but like I feel like Pyramid Head is so easy to make look good. Don't give them too much credit for that. The nurses look good too. Once again, not really hard to mess up a nurse. Abstract Daddy looked great. They also did keep the boss fight room of Abstract Daddy in the movie, and that was really cool to see, and I did like seeing that. This scene wasn't as good as I would have wished it to be, because that's one of my favorite parts of the game, but it is in there, and it is cool that it is in there, because they kind of didn't even, like, honestly, they could have cut that out of the movie and it wouldn't have really mattered. So it is nice that they put that in there. The music was good, but I'm almost 100% positive that they just kept the original music into the movie. So of course it's gonna be good if it's the original music. Let's talk about that boss fight. Mary as the monster. I thought Mary looked great. in this movie. They did great. Just in general, Mary looked good in this movie, and so did Mary, the boss fight of her at the end. I thought that looked great too. And that is everything I liked about the movie. Literally just the visuals. I could sum that all up as in I just liked the visuals in the movie. I liked the other world. I liked the CGI, and I liked the monsters. That was it. Everything else was
7 minutes.
So good job to anyone who was on the art side of the team and who was just the editing or the camera people. They were good. The writers, the actors, I don't want to be too hard on the actors. They're just trying to have fun and like just do their job. But like the writers, the director, I have some things to say. So let's get into all the bad things that I did not like. Number one, I'm literally gonna go over the entire movie with you. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to see it, good. Watch this video because I'm literally gonna explain the entire movie to you. The movie starts by showing James' car. It does not look like anything in the game. So I'm looking at his original car right now, and I understand that it might be hard to find a replica of such an old car because it is a 1970s like retro car. But you could still find a car that isn't a Mustang, you know? That was another thing this movie did that I hated. They like alt-daddied James. Like they turned him into, they like made him sexy. And I'm just like, I've never gotten sexy vibes from James. And I know there's some James thirsts out there who like absolutely would do anything for that man. Me personally, I do not mess with James. I do not see James in that light. I have a love-hate relationship with James' character. We're gonna go over James' entire design real quick. I didn't like it. I know that finding people that look like video game characters is just kind of hard in general. And especially in today's age where face claims close to the original source don't really matter anymore. And I can agree with that to an extent. But if you're not gonna make him look like James, at least make him act like James, and he just didn't act like James. No hate on this actor. I have no clue like what he's in or how indie he is. Maybe he's a really indie actor and he's just trying to get his name out there. I don't know. But so I'm not hating on the actor. I didn't like his design. I feel like they could have kept the actor, but also they could have fixed his like if you wanted that actor, just fixed up his design a little bit, change up his hair. He was a little scruffy in this film. I don't know why. James is clean cut. So, and also his iconic jacket is gone. He does not have his green jacket, and in this film maybe it's like a dark shade of green that I'm just not able to see, but it just looks like a leather jacket. It doesn't even look like his jacket. So like how are you going to make a Silent Hill Silent Hill 2 movie and not even give James his jacket? And something about this movie that I did not like about what they did with Angela is they made her weird. I don't know how else to put it. She's just a victim. She's not, like, maybe she's a little awkward, but that's because of all the crap that she's been through. But, like, in this film, they turned her into, like a weirdo. Like a creep, not like a good weirdo, like a creepy, like, okay, girl, get away from me. Like, don't get any closer, okay? Yeah, that's what they did to her character, and I just did not like that. There's literally a scene where he's talking to Angela, and Angela tells him, well, if you don't find, she says something along the lines of, well, if you don't find your Mary, you can always come back and find me. And it just made it seem weird. I know Angela's character near the end of the game does kind of like come to James and does say things along those lines of like, don't you want to save me, but like, and love me, or whatever she says. But it's just, they just made it too weird in the film. This game, there's not so much fog, it's more ash. I feel like they did a little too much on the ash way too soon into the movie. I think like, we get it, Silent Hill is foggy, but you don't gotta do it that hard, okay? Now for my main critique. This is like one of my top 3 of the things that I hate. Heaven's Night? What the
Pizza.
fuck was that? They do, at that point, and if you're not gonna have Heaven's Night be the club it's supposed to be, don't even put it into the film. There was no point to even have that on the screen. James does go into Heaven's Night in this movie. It looks nothing like it does in the game. They changed what Heaven Night is. Instead of it being what it actually is, they changed it into like a social club. Just like a normal club. Hated everything about that. James does pick up a pipe in the movie. He has like a little small, like, I think it's called like a lug something pipe. They did Mary in every scene of this movie. She is wearing some kind of skirt, some kind of dress, some kind of shorts, and her legs are always visible. I really like that. But I like that because it highlights James' fixation on Mary's legs. I did not mind the added personality, the added personality traits that they gave James in this film too much. I hated his design, but I did like that they made him into an artist. Like, I didn't mind that. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it because it gives James like a little bit of like a background that we don't really know about. So I think that that's okay to play with and change around because it doesn't really, like, since there is no canon to it that I know of, it's okay to kind of mess with it a little bit for fun. I didn't mind that they made it seem like James is going through therapy after Mary's death. It seems pretty, like, realistic. But why is he calling his therapist throughout this movie? I don't know. So one of my other biggest critiques that I have, this is like number 2 on the 3 of my biggest ones, I guess. Mary doesn't have an original dress. I don't know why, because I literally see in one of the scenes there is a woman in the background wearing a dress similar to the one that Mary wears. So you can't even say like, well, they couldn't find a dress that looks like Mary's. There was literally like a background character wearing the dress, or wearing one similar. Like, she had the pink little cardigan and everything. Why they changed Mary's dress, I don't know, and I hated it. I hated it so much. Okay, number 3 on the I think I have 4 things that I really hate about this film, but number 3 on the list is the adaptation of adding the order into Silent Hill 2. If you want to add in the order, I don't understand why they didn't just do a film of Silent Hill 1. Oh wait, they have. Or Silent Hill 3. People would have loved to see a Silent Hill 3 movie. So, the rest, I'm going to get into some spoilers at this point. They made it so Mary's father was into the order and he was like a prophet or whatever. And Mary was the daughter, and they like slowly were poisoning her, and that's how she got her sickness. Yeah, I can't really rationalize the thinking process on that because it makes no sense. But she was a part of the order, guys. She grew up in the Order. I love the Order. I love the cult part of Silent Hill. If you've seen my other videos on Silent Hill, you know that I do love the cult part of Silent Hill. That's why Silent Hill 1 is one of my favorite Silent Hill games. But making Mary into like a big part of the Order, saying that she's like the daughter of a prophet and stuff like that, it just seems stupid. Like, it just seemed like a waste of screen time. Like, just follow the game. Earlier in this video, I did talk about how they changed the mannequins. Because they changed the redesign of the mannequins, this iconic scene where Pyramid Head is killing one of them, or like he's messing with it, right? Completely ruined that scene. But the scene just wasn't good because they redesigned the mannequins. I didn't even like the closet scene that they put in the movie because they changed the way the mannequins look. Anyways, we go more into the film. You see Angela with the knife, and James doesn't take the knife from Angela, but I'm pretty sure you can choose to take the knife from Angela in the game. I don't really remember, but in the movie, he doesn't take the knife from Angela. So now we meet Maria after the knife scene. Maria looks good. I don't know how they ended up screwing up James' entire design, but yet they got Maria perfectly. Or Maria's the only character that they copied pretty much everything from the game into her. I think the only difference in the movie is she is wearing like a coat. But other than that, Maria looks great. She does look like, I am gonna say, she does look like a cosplay. But at that point, I would rather it look like a cosplay than just not look like the character at all. So Maria looks fine. In this movie, also, Mary is his girlfriend, not his wife. Thought that was a little weird too, because I feel like one of the reasons why James' grief is so hard is because they were married, right? Like, when you're married to someone, I feel like that's a higher level of a relationship than just a girlfriend. To some people. I understand some people don't get married, but like, to some people, that's how it is. So there was, like, what's the point of making her, there was just no reason to change that. Also, some point in this film, there were some lighting issues that I am going to complain about. The flashlight is constantly shining into your eyeballs in the dark scenes, and it low-key kind of hurts and gives you a headache. And also, there was like a strobe scene in this movie that it was just like excessive. Like, strobe is sometimes okay in movies, and I know it happens in horror films occasionally, but like this strobe lasted like a good minute. It was too long for no reason. Now, you do go into the other world for a little bit, and in the other world you see the nurses, and I'm pretty sure the director who made this movie, I learned, also made Silent Hill 1. I guess this director, for some reason, loves the nurses to be in huge numbers. I don't know why, but like in the game, the nurses were not in these giant schools and like crowds. Like, usually there was typically like maybe 3 nurses in one hallway. I would have much rather liked to see just a singular nurse and like highlighted the way she looked, her body, and the design of it, than seeing a large number of extras. So that's just my personal opinion, but now we're gonna get into the fourth thing that I really don't like about this film. Laura. Okay. They completely butchered Laura's character in this movie too. I am not a Laura hater. I know there's people out there that hate Laura because she's a brat and she's annoying, but I don't hate her. I know there's some people out there who say Laura's character did creep them out. She didn't creep me out, but what they did to Laura in this movie is they made her like a supernatural creepy girl, like little girl. I love the actress that they picked for Laura. She's in Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. So like, maybe I'm a little biased because I don't want to hate on the actress that much, because I actually do really like her, and it was really cool to see her in this film. But they like, Laura isn't real in this movie, and it's pretty obvious she's not real. My personal take on Laura is that she is real, and she did go into Silent Hill, and she is looking for Mary too, and there's a reason why Laura in the game, she's not in the other world. You don't ever really see, I don't think you see her at all when you're in the other world, because Laura, since she in my opinion, Laura doesn't see anything in Silent Hill. It's just empty for her. She's just a little girl. So I also think that's why Laura doesn't see any of these monsters in the game and whatnot. So the movie took that and just completely messed it up, and that's not real. Laura is a part of the other world. She appears in the other world for James, and not only that, but she is like a supernatural, like she's kind of like a spirit, and she's like just a creepy girl, like a creepy little girl, and I hated that. There was a scene in the movie too where Maria gets hurt and she's laying on the bed in the hospital, and she has James' face in her hands, and they literally could have so there is no jail scene. There's no iconic jail scene where Maria is in the jail cell, right, like behind the bars, which sucks because that's like a really good scene for them to put into the movie, but it's not there. Instead, she's sitting on this bed and she has James' hands in her face, and that could have been a perfect moment. I was literally waiting to hear it, but that could have been a perfect moment to hear the "I'm here for you, James." Like, don't you see I'm real? Like, that line could have been, is not in this movie at all, and it could have been in that very moment. So I don't know why they, a lot of like these iconic lines that are in the game are not in the film when it could have been. Like, I'm literally sitting there like on the edge of my seat, like, okay, when am I gonna hear it? When am I gonna hear it? And I'm not hearing it. This film, if you're wondering what the ending is that you get, it's in the water ending. I've never gotten this ending, and it kind of made me want to replay the remake so I can get that ending. Let's get into the part that everyone hates. Surprisingly, this is not on my top 4 of things I hated. It was a little bit like, what the
7 minutes.
They have this theory in the movie, because that's all this movie is. It's just theories, right? Mary, Angela, and Laura are one person. They're all versions of Mary. And you see Mary's tombstone in this film, and it literally says Mary Angela Laura Crane. I hate this theory, I really do. The theory is that Laura is a younger version of Mary. Angela is showing the abuse that Mary went through with her father. That doesn't exist in the game, it's just a theory. But Eddie, for some reason, is not a part of this. So it just like if you're gonna do this theory, include everyone. Also, they completely skipped over the prison, which really sucks, because the prison, if you have ever played Silent Hill 2, you know that the prison is the scariest part of the game. We're going to talk about Mary's death and Mary's sickness too, that I also really did not like how this film portrayed it at all. I hated this. She was dead for months in this film. I guess in the games, I didn't realize this, but she recently died in the games. It's literally only been like a couple weeks to a few days. That makes a lot of sense why James is so like effed up in the head. James does kill Mary in the film. Thank God. I was scared that they won't, at this point of the movie, I was scared they weren't gonna have James be the killer of Mary, but he did do it. However, this is entirely up to how the fans interpret why James does it. A lot of people like to think that James killed Mary because Mary begged him to. And Mary said maybe like, because there is a part in the game where Mary says that she does want to die. However, there is also a part in the game where Mary is literally crying, saying that she doesn't want to die and she's scared of dying. Mary asks James to end her suffering, and James does. I personally don't like that. I think it kind of gets rid of James' entire point of killing Mary. And my take on why James killed Mary was out of selfishness. It was not out of pityness. It was not to save Mary from suffering. It was entirely for himself. He killed Mary for himself. And that's why he's guilty about it. That's why he feels guilty about it. And I think that's a big part of his character, is him being selfish, because he had to put his life on pause because of Mary's sickness. And I think that's a big reason why he ends up killing her, is because he's tired of having to stick by her side, care for her, put his life on pause. He kills Mary out of selfishness. And the way that they make it seem like in the film, they kind of took that entire part of his character out of the film. Later on in the film, he's carrying Mary's body so he can do the in the water ending. And he does say like, oh, I was so selfish for killing you. Just because you say it does not mean me as an audience is going to feel that. I don't know. Like the writer knew that a big part of James' character is that he's selfish, but they did not let you visually see that. That being said, when he kills Mary, there was no pillow. There was no pillow. Like, what? How are you going to take the pillow out? It is iconic. It's like a meme at this point. It is the biggest part of the game, is the pillow. There is no pillow, guys. He kills her with a rag. He still suffocates her, but there is no pillow. What is the point? Like, at least give us the pillow. At least give us the pillow. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. Oh my God. This film, for as much as it loves theories, the actual good theories out there for Silent Hill 2, they did not touch up on it. Her sickness, she was poisoned as a kid. She was drinking this like poison ever since she was a child that the Order was giving her, and that's how she gets sick. I personally really like the theory that she has leprosy. I don't know why. This film loves theories, obviously, but why they took that like theory out on her, because we don't actually know what sickness Mary has, but why they took out the biggest theory of her having leprosy, why they took that out. I do want to say too, the entire point of this game is that a big part of Mary's character is her sickness. And the film, there's literally like a 2-minute scene of her sickness on screen time. You don't see how the sickness affects James at all in this film. Instead, you see one scene of Mary in the hospital, and that is the scene where he's literally killing her. They also didn't make her look as disgusting and sick, and I know that they were capable of doing this because they did it with Eddie's character. They did not make Mary look sick and disgusting and gross at all in this film when she had her sickness. They literally just made her hair messy, and they gave her like a little bit of redness in her eyes. I want to see Mary disgusting. Give me sick, ugly, disgusting Mary. The entire point of her is that she loses herself to this sickness. As bad as this film was, the ending was fine. So I guess they did something right there. But that is everything that I have to say about this film. If I had to give it a rating out of 5 pillows, I give it a 1 out of 5, guys. And I'm easy to please when it comes to movies. Thank you so much for watching. This is going to be a long video because I'm sure I yapped for a long time. Let me know what you guys think about the movie. Did you like it? Let's chat in the comments, because clearly I got a lot to say about it, so I want to hear what you guys think. Do you agree or disagree with some of the things that I had to say? I feel like some of my takes are not that good because I am a new gen Silent Hill fan. I've only played the remake and I've only played Silent Hill F, so if some of my takes seemed wrong to any OG good Silent Hill fans out there, let me know in the comments. I do talk about Silent Hill a lot, and I do play Silent Hill, so if that's something you're interested in, come and stay and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 500 subs, and I also want to say that I will be doing a Iron Lung review. That is everything. Thank you so much for listening to my sick voice yap, and bye bye!